Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I am here with Capricorn's 2021 year predictions. So I am an astrologer. I have knowledge of the transits, but I am going to be using my tarot cards to be able to get predictions and insight. And, sometimes I even get specific visions about things that are going to be going on. Doing that with general readings for the public is a little bit different because then I end up, seeing like little flashes of things here and there, and I don't necessarily know who it's for because I'm talking to so many people at once. I feel like my screen is a bit dim right now. I'm not sure. Did I do something that made my lighting get worse? I don't know. But thank you for joining me here today. And we are doing this live because I've been having issues with the drivers. But the YouTube drivers seem to be working just fine. So it's the drivers on my computer that are the problem. So yeah, I just took the little kick in the butt from the universe. So this is going to be for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And we're going to start by getting an animal guide reading with the advice that Capricorn needs for 2021. This will help you get through the year with more ease and with more grace. Okay. So you guys got the crow. Oh my gosh, crows are hilarious. So I once saw a crow like steal somebody's French fries and then fly on top of somebody else's truck to like go and rip through the fast food bag and like get the French fries out. But crows are about about transformation. They're about magic. They can have to do with manifestation, overcoming obstacles, and having a good eye for things. So that's a good eye for business and being able to control the chaos of life a little bit better. So that is your animal spirit wisdom. If you at any point in the year decide that you need more animal spirit guidance, I am planning to add that as a service to my website. It's not the same as in spirit animal reading. It's not the same as that. That requires like a much more detailed process. But I can draw cards. That's one thing I'm capable of doing and interpreting them. So right now we're going to see what's going on in different areas of your life, Capricorn, in the year 2021. All right. So our first card is the Six of Cups. So this is going to have a lot to do with nostalgia and just kind of thinking about, who you were as a child, what brought you to where you are today. In terms of money, we have the Death card. So there's something you're moving on from financially, probably something that wasn't serving you. In communication, we have the Fool. So there's some new ideas that are coming your way, really. And I'm feeling like this could have to do with opportunities. It could have to do with new proposals. It's going to be a little bit different from person to person. We'll probably get more information on that later. There's something going on in the home that is like a huge burden for you. There's something very stressful going on in the home. And in terms of creative projects, there's something new going on. There's something that's really like kind of blossoming. In terms of work, there is a situation that you are going to have to walk away from in 2021. It might be something that you really felt was going to earn you a lot of money, but it winds up being too big of a hassle and kind of creating more problems. So you're going to need that crow vision, being able to see the opportunities and navigate the chaos in your career in 2021. All right, in terms of relationships, it looks like there's going to be a lot going on. You're probably going to have at least one major fight with a partner this year. Based on that card alone, like I do want to get more information on it, but based on this card alone, I'm going to say it's going to be kind of like an up and down thing. Like there's a big fight and then we make up, and a big fight and then we make up. It's nothing like permanent yet from what I've seen. But for the record, always for clarification, if you really want to know what's going on in your love life or any area of your life, personal readings are important. So now we have the Lovers that came up here. And I'm feeling like this is part of what's contributing to the turbulence of your love life. It's someone you feel very, very passionately for, but there's a lot of ups and downs that you have with them. Okay, so it looks like there's some kind of plans regarding travel or regarding education that wind up creating a lot of controversy for you, things you're fighting over. It might be that you have a flight that gets canceled and you wind up having issues with the airline, or maybe like the hotel or the Airbnb you booked with something that has to do with the travel services. I'm seeing some kind of issue coming up there. For some of you, this could be about education as well, or it could even have something to do with like the place of worship you go to. It could be something like more spiritually minded about that, but there's going to be some kind of discrepancy going on there. And then in career, again, we have this new thing that is blossoming. We had the Ace of Cups down here, and now we have the Ace of Swords up here. So this is, I feel like it's a totally new mindset. It might be like a new company that approaches you, either to hire you or to, I mean, I guess hire you as a contractor, that would be another thing, to potentially consider working with you. But it's not just going to be about this one company. I feel like it's like a change of mindset that is approaching you. In terms of friendships, we have the Five of Coins card. So I think someone else got this same card, but it looks like there's going to be some very kind of needy friendships that are going on in your life. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. I'm sorry if I look weird. Try not to sneeze. It looks like there's going to be some weird friendships situations going on in your life where you have some friends that are just being kind of needy, and they have this like kind of like take, I need mentality, and it's because their own needs aren't being met. But we'll probably try to get some more information on that. So if you have any card here that you want more information on and you are watching this live, go ahead and leave it in the comments. Hopefully I'll be able to see it and everything, and I'll get that done. So I will say a lot of this looks very chaotic. It looks like Capricorn's going to have a little bit of a chaotic year in 2021. But then the underlying factor of this, it is about happiness. It is about fulfillment. And there is like an underlying sense of peace that's going on despite all this. So we do want to know like what is going on with this friendship, and is there potentially anything that we can do to make that less of a problem? What is going on with the home that is creating problems, that's creating stress for you, that's creating additional burden for you? And I suppose the fighting with the partner, we want to know a little bit more about that as well. We want to know a little bit more about the customer or the job opportunity that you will have to walk away from in 2021. And this looks like some kind of canceled plans and potentially having to fight for like a refund or something like that is what I'm getting. Yeah, but there is something good that's coming up in the career as well, some new creative project. So there's a lot of things there that I want to know more about. And we will put that there too. Okay, so I think I'm going to start with money and what's going on financially, and we're going to see if anything specifically regarding career comes up in that, because that'll give us a little bit more information on what all Capricorns are dealing with in 2021. Okay, there we go. We're ready. Okay, first we got the Daughter of Pentacles. So this has to do with taking small steps, with using what you learned to be able to move forward. So this has to do with your area of expertise, really working in your own field and, you know, making your own path in that field. And then there's some kind of big conflict getting in the way. It's someone that you've been having trouble agreeing with on certain things. And then above is the Three of Cups. And this has to do with people around you. So it might feel like there's someone who's closer to you and someone who has more influence that's causing pain, that's causing turmoil in your career. But then other people who are a little bit more distant, who are creating a more encouraging environment and giving positive feedback, giving good input. And then below we have the Mother of Wands. So this shows that even though these people giving you positive feedback, positive input, they're friendly, they are kind of busy doing their own thing. And these are probably not actual business partners of yours, or at least not someone who's capable of operating like they're a partner. And then yet you have this person who's very close to you, who is creating a sense of pain, creating a sense of turmoil. In the past, we have the Son of Wands. So this has a lot to do with, I feel like there's someone you have tried to partner with who isn't really capable of being a partner for some reason. And that intentions like they did not grow quite as you expected. They definitely grew, but it seems like there's some kind of goal here, someone you've been working with where things kind of grew apart instead of together. And hopefully we'll find out what this money situation you have to leave behind is. Okay, so this is not a good sign. This shows betrayal. This is a very bad feeling, very bad vibes with this card. And the Tower. So there's something that's going to be falling apart, something that's going to be crumbling in your career and in your financial life in 2021. Don't like bad news. And it seems like the people around you are looking for different opportunities. And there's going to be some real concerns regarding money in 2021. So you're going to have kind of a moment in 2021 that's like, oh shit, what am I doing? And the final outcome is Ace of Pentacles. So there is going to be a new opportunity coming your way, something that can be fruitful. And like, again, we got all these other ace cards that came up in the initial reading as well. So it looks like there's someone you are close to that you have been working with, that ties are not going so well. And ultimately, they're probably going to do something that severs the relationship. And then it's going to become something that is unsalvageable. So if this is someone you're employed by, it might be like, wow, the company just screwed me over and I have to leave. It's going to be some kind of like big moment of realization like that. If it's someone you've been working alongside, it's going to be kind of the same thing. Like, I don't want to freaking work with this person anymore, not after what they did. But it does look like it's going to be emotionally painful. I know Capricorns care deeply about their career. They care deeply about the things they've been working towards, which is perfectly justified. But I'm sorry, it looks like there's some pain coming your way in 2021 regarding that. We definitely want some advice after that. We want some advice on how we can rebound from that and how we can make the best of the change that's coming our way in 2021. All right. So this has to do with climbing up the ladder when it comes to communication. So you basically want to upgrade in your social connections. So you kind of talk to either the next person up the ladder who could help you get a better job opportunity, or someone else that can just kind of help you elevate your career a little bit more. It's going to be a lot about connections. Do not let yourself get too emotional about things, even if it's someone new you're talking to. If it's talking about things that are happening in the past, don't let yourself get too emotional about the way you're communicating. Keep things very business-minded, and don't let your mind wander. I feel like I didn't emphasize the A enough. And we have the Father of Swords that came in the area of action. So this is a little bit similar to the Crow because they are both different types of birds. And this has to do with seeing opportunities. This has to do with wisdom. This has to do with foresight. And most importantly, knowing when to strike, knowing when it's time to swoop in and to say something and to speak up and to show what you actually have to provide. So this is about staying alert, but also being patient and being smart about it. Okay, in this, we have the Ace of Swords for what not to do. And this is essentially just warning you, like, don't be too impulsive about things. Don't be too quick to say yes to anything. Basically, do not make yourself too accessible or too easy to make agreements with when it comes to communication and when it comes to how you respond to things. Like, it's not that we're saying you should totally ignore them, because we do want this certain degree of, climbing up the scale, keeping things very business minded. The cards are advising you to do that, to keep things business minded, to keep things very professional, but don't be too accessible. Don't be too easy. Don't be too ready. It kind of has to do with that whole thing where a lot of times if someone got something, a little bit too easily, like they managed to get you hired on, agreeing to work for the company a little bit too easily, they might take you for granted a little bit more as well. So this is about knowing which opportunity to take, knowing when it is the right time to say yes, and just having a good eye for things, which I think Capricorn already kind of naturally has. But with some of what's happening this year, it might make you feel like you're being thrown off emotionally, and you might start to feel a little bit imbalanced. So this is kind of, reminding you to use your ability to be resourceful, like that crow who stole the bag of fast food from the beginning of my reading when I told that story. All right, in terms of money, be willing to move on from the lost contract, the lost situation, the lost position, whatever it was. Be willing to actually let it die, because it looks like it's something that's not going to be salvageable. Don't try too hard to forgive. Don't try too hard to make the best out of what was the crappy situation, because I'm seeing that there's new opportunities that are going to be available for you in 2021, and you need to be able to have the ability to move on. All right, so this is about emotions. I feel like this is saying that you are ready. You are ready to be able to do this, and you need to remind yourself that you are ready to take the next step in life. You are ready to take a higher position in the field that you are working in. You are ready to take on a higher title. You are ready to take on a position with a new company. There's all these new things coming to your life in 2021. So one more thing I want to do is I want to draw some cards that'll help us identify what is the best opportunity to take in 2021. Because I feel like you're going to have some time where you get to listen to other people's pitches and determine for yourself what is the best opportunity. Okay, so I feel like this is about acknowledging, because this is the what not to do card. This is about acknowledging that you do need some other type of contract. You do need some other type of work. It's not all about you acting independently this year. I feel like there's opportunity for connection, and there's opportunity for functional agreements with other people, but it's going to require you to move on from agreements that you've made with certain people in the past. So don't try to be too independent in how you respond to what's going on in 2021, but be willing to walk away, be willing to accept that that's over. And that's basically what I'm getting from this. And the reason why I think the advice Spirit is giving you, Capricorn, is so simple is because I think that's all you really have to do. And I think Spirit is reminding us that as long as you're willing to move on, as long as you're willing to bounce back, you will be able to find better opportunities, and you will be able to find further success and climb your way up the ladder. But it's going to require you to accept that certain things in your career are dead and gone, and you have to move on from certain sources that you have relied on in the past for financial growth. But yeah, we do have these two really good cards that I feel like is something new blossoming and something new growing in your career. We're not seeing it turn into like a full-blown tree yet in 2021. So this is going to be a little bit more about just getting it off its feet. Okay, so there's some fighting in the romantic relationships we kind of want to know about. I feel like we already kind of got our answer about this person that you're going to have to walk away from. And the 5 of Wands. Oh, that had something to do with travel, some kind of travel plans or something along those lines. So I want to go ahead and read on that one next. What is going on with that? Okay. Okay, first we have the 5 of Swords. So again, this is going to be some kind of issue about fighting over money, fighting over resources, fighting over canceled plans. For most of you, it does have to do with travel. That's what the word card is telling me. And even if it's not about literal travel, it's about something that made you feel like your opportunities are limited, made you feel like you couldn't get things going. So it might be a course that you tried to get started on, and that, you know, most courses are online right now, or maybe it was in person, but for some reason the course is being delayed and it feels like it's limiting your opportunities and your abilities because of the delay that it's facing. So some kind of course, it's an online course or in-person college or something along those lines, or travel plans that get canceled is what we're looking at here. So this card is saying it most likely is related to the virus, which we already knew. This is someone who's, I'm feeling, is sick and in bed. And that's more symbolic in this case. And it's going to be like one of those situations like, oh, we don't know when we're going to open back up. We don't know when this is going to be available again. We don't know when you're going to be able to do the thing that you felt you needed to be able to do. So that's going to be kind of frustrating. This is something that could potentially eat up a lot of your time. It seems like it was something you did really care about, something you had put a lot of careful consideration into, but it looks like it's just not going to happen. It's just going to eat up a lot of your time if you keep fighting for it. So this is saying that you don't actually need this thing. You are capable of doing well even without this thing. I'm getting that the other party, you know, the travel company, the college, whichever it was, they are trying to make things right. They are trying to get things figured out. But this, it doesn't require you to do anything. It does not require you to do anything. And then the final outcome card is the Devil. So one potentially like bad thing that could happen from this is they might, and like, this is awful, I don't think this is right, but they might not be doing refunds and they might just be pushing things back and rescheduling it without actually refunding your money. And I think that's the part of this that is most likely to be distressing, this idea that I can't get my money back and I'm stuck fighting these people for my money, or for the thing that I paid for, and we don't actually know when it's going to happen. So you're going to be in a situation where you're trying to figure out what to do. It seems like it's a disaster, all that kind of thing. I am getting the sense that if you say the right thing, they will potentially be able to give you a refund. But I'm going to draw more cards for advice. Okay. First card we got is the 3 of Coins. Okay. I'm going to take a moment to look at this here. Okay, so I would say that this is mostly saying don't let yourself feel like there's there's a certain balance here. It's about like not wasting your time, but also the big thing here is do not wait for them to fix it. That's what I'm seeing. Don't wait for them to fix it. There's some type of paperwork you need to be able to file over this situation, okay? And this might be saying it's not even worth your time to try to deal with them directly. So to some extent, this is accepting that there's nothing you can do, but there's some type of paperwork that you can file because there's someone else who can do something about it, someone who deals with this type of paperwork. And I feel like this is essentially saying, don't focus too hard on the money situation of it, because we have the High Priestess coming up here as an advice card. And this is very, very spiritual approach to money. This is basically saying, like, I think you already know what the right answer is. I think you already, especially once you find this paperwork, you understand that this is an option. You already have a good idea of how it's going to play out. You already have a good idea of what needs to happen. And that means that you trying to reconcile the situation with the money is not going to be as productive. So this might be that you just have to accept that you're going to have to go a little bit with these these funds that seem like they're going to be owed to you. And you need to be able to just walk away from this. Like, Spirit is basically telling you, file the paperwork and then just forget about it, walk away. Okay, because it's pretty much out of your hands, and to some degree you're going to need to accept that. If you let it, keep you suspended up in the air, it's just going to consume more time, it's going to waste energy. And I think you already know better than to do that, because you have a pretty, like, as you watch this, you might be wondering, oh, what is it going to be? Is it going to be travel plans? Is it going to be like plans to pursue education? Like, what is it actually going to be? You might not know that now, but once this comes up, you will, like, especially after watching this reading, you will recognize what it is. That's what I'm getting from this. And you're pretty much already going to know how it plays out. So file the paperwork that you need to file, but don't invest too much of your energy in it, because it can just eat away your time if you allow it to waste your time. Okay, so we still want to know about the relationship, and we still want to know about the home. I want to know what's going on with the home. Is there something wrong? I know in Virgo's reading, we saw something coming up that looks like there's going to be some kind of issue in the home with someone wanting to do some type of work. So there is another person coming up here, and kind of a idea of investment. There's a lot of people coming up here. There's a lot of masculine figures coming up here. There's an agreement. Oh my goodness. Okay. So one thing I'm seeing is that there is an agreement that was supposed to involve two people, and for some reason it wound up involving more than two people. And there's just kind of these extra people who you would have initially thought had no business in what was going on. And it has to do with, it might even tie back into whatever was going on with you financially and within your career, because this is showing some degree of heartbreak. This is showing some degree of emotional upset. So this, like, we haven't read on the partnership situation yet. For some Capricorns, this might be about your romantic partner. For a lot of you, I'm feeling like it's about something else, and it's just going to have to do with you responding to some of the changes that happened in 2021 and figuring out what is the best way for you to deal with your finances from there. It's going to be a situation of, like, what are we going to pour our resources into at this point, because it seems like we got the short end of the stick in a lot of ways. And I feel like this is someone who's being kind of demanding, kind of merciless, and there's a lot of other people. Like, I feel like this is pressure to move out of your current living situation. Potentially pressure to, I know Capricorn's going to hate this term, and I'm sorry. It could be potential to downgrade, because it might feel like you don't actually have the funds that you need in order to be able to keep living where you've been living. And it might even specifically be that other people in your life feel like they have, like, a right to your living situation in some way, because there's, like, all this other energy coming in, all these other people who are coming in. So if there's someone who helped you buy your house at some point, if they put their name on anything at all, that is a potential issue. That is a potential thing that could come up to bite you. So like now that we know that, there's probably ways to avoid it. And I'm getting that this is someone who basically just wants to get this like over and done with, and they don't want to give you time to really respond to what's going on or prepare for what's going on. Yeah, but this is a money situation. Let's get some advice on it. It's a money situation that's going to affect your living situation. It might feel like you, at certain points in the year, you might not be sure how you're going to pay your mortgage or your rent. I know Capricorns love to actually own homes, which I would love to own a home as well. So when I think of Capricorn, I think of people who are slightly less likely to rent unless they really have to. Okay. So the first advice we're getting here is the Page of Wands. So this is about being somewhat pioneering, being ready to seek other opportunities, and potentially even looking for different land to live on. Don't try to schmooze too much, though. Don't try to win people over with your words. I feel like that's just going to be kind of a waste of time. These are people who are very insensitive. These are people who don't care about your problems, and people who are not going to be charmed into being more compassionate or being more caring. So this is going to, the best advice here is pursue your own opportunities, pursue your own solutions. Be smart like that crow that stole the fast food bag. And down here we have another page. It's the Page of Cups. But then your don't card is the Page of Swords. So this again is saying don't try to solve your problems with communication too much. But I think one thing that's going to be kind of blocking you is you need to make sure that you take the time to figure out how you actually feel about what's going on. Like instead of necessarily like just combating the problem head on, it's more about pivoting and finding a different path. Oh, is the connection, it says the connection is unstable. Hopefully it's reconnecting. I'm nervous. Okay, I think it's reconnected. So to me, this card is very reassuring. It shows that there is going to be a way for you to manifest the money, and it's going to require you to think outside the box a little bit, but it might be like something that was an option that you kind of forgot about is what I'm getting here. And this is kind of an obvious one. Don't give up. Just don't give up. Don't get too discouraged about it. Don't totally give up. And we have the High Priestess here and the Emperor here. So there does need to be like some willingness to surrender, mostly so you can pursue how you feel about what is actually going on, and you can listen to your own inner voice. You can listen to your own inner wisdom. So you need to be able to like let your emotions kind of flow freely so that you can see opportunities that are coming your way. You won't be able to see these opportunities that are coming your way unless you let your emotions and your intuition flow freely. I know we think of Capricorn as such like a hard-headed earth sign, but they do have like a very spiritual side to them as well. And I think that's going to be important to activate this year. But yeah, there is an opportunity that can help you financially. And I'm not seeing any strong indicators that Capricorn is going to move. I'm seeing there's a possibility that you are going to be able to pull through and find a way to pay for your land, pay for your rent, whichever it is, despite the obstacles that are coming your way. But you have to be able to remember that this is an option, and you have to be able to see opportunities as they come. But there is definitely hope in this for you. Okay. So do we want to know what's going on with a friend? I don't know. A lot of times when I do these ones, it just seems like unnecessary drama. I am going to ask about what's going on with the relationship partner. That is something I want to know more about. Okay, first we got the Sun and the Hermit. So it looks like you have a partner who's being a bit difficult to please, and it's because they're not saying what it is that they actually want, and they've kind of just left you to guess almost, but they've left different paths open, and they have not been specific in the way that you need them to be about stuff. That's what I'm getting from this Sun and this Hermit card. This is them just kind of keeping you in the dark about things. And it might be that they have like really, really hefty demands and they don't want to admit to how high their expectations are, because it's not that they don't think you'll do it. I think they're more worried that they're actually going to overwhelm you, but they've kind of isolated you because of it, because they're not willing to actually admit to what it is that they want. And then I'm feeling like there's some kind of severance, some kind of separation, some kind of problem that's being created by your day-to-day schedule that you have between you and your partner right now. If you're single, it might be that you don't have time to date right now. It's a very literal interpretation of that problem. And then what's happening below is I feel like you have a total sense of confidence in being able to overcome these issues that you're having in your relationship. You know, you are ready to meet the demands of a partner, no matter how crazy, outrageous or out there they are. Like, you know, I want to go out for lobster every night or something like that. You're like, okay, we'll find a way to be able to work that into the budget. We'll get you lobster every single night. Like, I'm getting that you really want to be able to do all this stuff for the person you are romantically involved with in 2021, but this person is trying to be a little bit more modest and trying to not make you have to do that, because they pretty much know you. They like have you figured out pretty well, and they're trying not to take advantage, and they're trying not to put too much pressure on you. But it seemed like they were ambiguous. It seemed like they didn't know what they wanted, and it looks like really they kind of do know what they want, and there's going to be a change in your lifestyle with them and your routine with them that'll help you function through the relationship with more ease. What was that other card we had? I can't remember what it was, but yeah. So we were talking about that turbulent situation with your love life and how there's going to be a lot of fights. It does seem like it's going to be fights over like relatively simple day-to-day things. So far from this reading, it doesn't look too bad. Like the other cards we have here are the Moon card and the Judgment card. So this has to do with them like basically taking a look at themselves and realizing what it is they need to do to get the things that they actually want and have the type of relationship that they want. And this is you like not just setting boundaries, but I feel like solidifying them and, you know, figuring out how you can make them happy in a way that also makes you happy. Yeah, so it seems like you guys are just like really looking for peace with one another. You're looking for synchronicity and harmony. And this is going to be kind of a year to let your relationship grow, to let your relationship transform and change. So if you're single, this is going to be about changing the way that you approach the dating world. If you're married, it's going to be about changing your day-to-day lifestyle and your day-to-day habits. I apparently already went way over 30 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And if you have any further questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. If you would like to purchase a reading, you can check my website, send me an email, see if I have any current availability. And I look forward to seeing you again. Bye.